said, Bind still, I think, caught Loud off guard. You could see them really
there was like
in regards to the recovery factor. This one's going to be a little harder to do. Now, Loud did have an uncharacteristic performance in the first half of the previous meeting.
Okay.
But if they can write that, this is where it does get really concerning, right? Because obviously with the side half, we never usually talk about this too heavily, but ZETA need to do exactly the same thing. And like I said, with Loud having an uncharacteristic performance, can they repeat that? Well, we're going to see a lot of set pieces here on the defense to counter that, at least not here in the pistol round. Very passive setup on both sides, actually. Loud awaiting contact somewhere on the map. I think actually that's the trend set from Bind that
it was.
Loud are very conscious of.
And I don't think it's bad to be cautious. You invest 20 seconds or so. It's perfectly fine. You can see a little mid setup here. Pop flash potentially for Sugar Zero. That's waiting for it, but for now you can already see them navigating towards short. The spike is still left over towards that deeper side of B, so
here
does eventually start to test ZETA's discipline here to not start over exploring, but a great knife going to reveal two of the players here dedicated and posted towards mid.
Interesting to see actually Sugar Zero and Laz both making the decision on the back of that information to gamble stack towards A, and it's looking as if it's the right decision. It's going to be an absolute bloodbath here for the pistol. Audio cues noted on the other side as well.
There's a commitment. First real contact found. Laz up by Heaven. Depth going to be listening to all of this. Notes plenty of players on the cross, but only going to get one. Aspas goes down, but the plant can be tapped. Sugar Zero trying to fill the void, but the trades come out, and it is a brutal bloodbath. Laz, the last one standing. And ZETA off to a great start here.
Even a shock dark kill in the mix there from Crow. Great crunch from ZETA. As soon as that pressure comes onto site, actually as soon as Depp loses his life, ZETA dial up the pace a little bit. I'm happy to actually, even there with one player committed towards that spike plant, make sure that they can take these engagements as quickly as possible. So confidence here, especially on the back of that knife, noting both players. And actually immediately they go for that gamble stack. They're fully confident 10 can hold down the fort on B site.
Scanning ahead.
That'll bring 3 sheriffs to the party here in round 2. A deeper hold once again on B side. And we'll be curious to see actually how much 10's going to float around the map, where he's going to play, if that does actually enable any defensive aggression on the side of ZETA.
Initial look towards that A site, but no follow-up to this for Loud. Taking the tour of the map, picking the spike back up, smoke towards mid. We might just see 10 set up and solo hold tested. Pretty telling after map 1, or sorry, excuse me, round 1, that they're happy to leave a lot in this man's hands, considering how many players were on A so swiftly. Tommy, first one to really note the potential, but it is a split. It's a 3-2 split towards the B site. Let's see what you got, 10. Does have help here, he's not alone. Crow by his side. Invest some utility, but Pancada going to slip forward. 10, good for one. That's Pancada got, and Crow still standing, but it's mayhem. But Laz just barrels onto the site, and it is an absolute shutdown for standing. And that, well, they test the hold, I guess, in 10 passes.
Absolutely, it's crucial as well. The split comes through, and that's what deals with the turret. So they don't really have that, you know, concrete information that the push is coming through from main. Yeah, so even the Nano Swarm coming through here, finding the kill onto Pancada. Just no comfortable opening engagement for Loud to find that. Great discipline shown by ZETA. Actually rewarded for it here to come into round 3. Bulldog, 3 Spectres and the Sheriff. Laz already having a fantastic start here, 5-0. Loud actually leaning pretty heavily towards us. Actually the reveal goes up, but Aspas finds Depp inside that one-way. A very early advantage here. Let's see what Loud do with this.
Bonus round for ZETA, so trying to make something happen. Take a chance, take a risk. While that happens, Loud gonna take the site. ZETA looking to do some chip damage. Already gonna have to know that adjustment going forward as Pancada is gonna find Laz, so far so good. No real threats found in this bonus for ZETA, unable to do too much. And Loud looking clean. This is really good for themselves. Looks like you're going to work it out with 5 rifles, and they do. Flawless here, the Prime Gaming flawless in the round 3. So Loud, no messing around once they got those rifles on deck.
No, absolutely. Got to keep 5 alive, and that's actually getting closer and closer to that lockdown. The other side, I think Lad's one off the null command, but great early pick, and Loud, they're not barreling towards sight on the back of that. Showing restraint. Actually a big boon to the economy, actually. I think actually maybe 1 or 2 shields purchased on the back of that. On the flip side, just 1 light shield for 10. That's close. I don't see any gaps in the utility here, so but ZETA tapped out after that.
Any early information found? Looking to see when this knife gets invested.
That's actually, yeah. I was going to say, just pondering when to invest it, but actually does
only
catch
1.
Sassy ahead of the drone, but you're right, it is only 1. And there's 4 other members of Loud stacked behind that. A double hold towards short as well, so Sugar Zero is really going to be tested here. But noted, he's actually noted on the drone. I think he gets spammed a little bit through the smoke.
Oh, Sugar Zero alive. He's scrambling for cover. He's scrambling for any semblance of safety, but he stays alive. And Aspas on the side, though. Going to make light work of depth, so that's something. There's so many rotations here early on. There's still so much to break down, and Aspas, he's just a blunt object and is slicing through them somehow. 3 kills already. Sugar Zero still standing, surprisingly tucked towards hell, but it feels like a matter of time until he's taken out his position. What? He just leans into the smoke, brings it back to a 2v2. The spikes on the move. Pancada ain't sticking around. Does he dare go back to this? They don't quite. Well, they're going to know 10's near enough bite with this. Do they commit off the back? Oh, 10!
Beautiful.
Quick as lightning to take down less. And that is the go signal. Pancada wants nothing to do with that, but he's only got 10 seconds to get here. He's got to get a wiggle on now.
10 seconds left.
We get the plan, but I mean, 10's going to be able to close the gap. A smoke coming back up in 7 seconds. If he can get this one way towards stairs, he actually opts to come back towards lane here. And 10 cautious of Pancada playing this a little more aggressive. Actually, Pancada gives it. He comes out of that with 36 HP.
10's surely coming off the better in this one. A tap on the spike. Alarm bot to the left. 6 bullets left in the mag. Panic ensuing now. Pancada closing in, and they just they evade each other. 10 almost had him, but Pancada somehow so cool under that pressure. That felt like it was ZETA's round then.
Absolutely. Pancada plays it perfectly again. Just a little bit of timing. Unfortunate for 10. I think actually in another couple of seconds he had the turret back up as well. Great play with the alarm bot just to isolate that one side of sight. But this swing was beautiful to deal with less. You see the timing there. Actually, 10 just slips back inside the smoke.
Wow.
Now get away with murder on that one. So Pancada heavily tagged up from that first engagement as well. 3 ultimates online though for Loud. Bladestorm, Lockdown, and the TP for Pancada. As we know, ZETA struggling after that previous purchase. So just Sheriffs for them to work with. ZETA very active around the map here in this.
And
Sheikah around, yeah. It's
the gamble here. You even pulled 10 across towards middle this time.
It's just Tommy to hold down the fort, holding B main. Depp actually nearly catches sight of somebody on that flash play, but and there's no real indicator here that it's a stack.
None.
Unless we see, you know, Crow potentially use a dart or something that will give away the presence of a third player.
Placing swarm grenade.
This is the lineups here coming through. Big knife though. That catches 3, potentially 4.
The information on 1, they're going to try and stick this. This is fraught with danger. There's so many players here. Aspas bolting forward, going to find one towards the back of the site. Spins towards heaven, loses it. Crow still lives. Pancada's going to see this. Finds you. Dep's gone now. But Sugar Zero still waiting. 2 players still in this 10. Can he do anything now? Did so well before. Maybe a second chance, but no. Once again, Pancada's got his number. And as dangerous as it was, they still survive with 2 standing.
So cautious on approach though. I think actually, misread for me there, it's actually the knife from Sadak that's invested right on the wall outside main, just to check that, you know, there's no crossfire set up with shorties, nobody absolutely hugging that wall next to bricks. Again, real discipline shown on the way through, and Loud actually now with a full stack of ultimates. ZETA not far away from the same situation, to be honest. Just missing the Hunter's Fury and the Cosmic Divide.
So I get a little nervous that I see the pistol sitting with, you know, two rounds off the back of that for ZETA and want to go for these slightly, you know, better equipped rounds. It has been 3 on the trot for Loud. I only say slightly, it has been great purchases for ZETA. Keep in mind the stacks that we've had coming out. And
look at the switch out again, though, with this rotation.
So varied. But also the pace change coming out from Loud, too.
First time we've really seen them explore towards mid, other than that eco in round 2. Here, Depp is going to be the surprise factor with this operator. Does he swing close? Aspas posted for the angle. Depp just creeping closer and closer.
Who blinks first in this one?
We can see there as well, actually, almost just the smoke to draw the rotation. Did Aspas spot the barrel there? I think he did.
Might have
He's
done.
actively clearing this. The timing's disastrous for him, though.
Yeah, and Depp not going to follow that one up. He's got problems on another field. Now, that lockdown, yeah, could be a problem for one, but Depp finally smoked off. They actually take Crow down on the way in, so ZETA now in danger. 10's got a note that, wait, they don't clear this. Sassy just walked on past, going to pop down the lockdown of his own. Completely unawares of this. And ZETA have a second chance at life. A quick TP out for Pancada. He wants to get the hell away. Over towards the A site. Shut that door. Certainly not born in a barn. And trying to get a plant down, but look who's quick to this again. Sugar Zero, not far away now. They've got to play together. Still has utility to invest, still has the paranoia. Smoke goes up. They want that door gone. It's 3 towards Heaven and 1 towards Door. He's picked the right fight to go for, but Depp gets to keep his life. And he's going to toy with him. Time, oh my word, Pancada steps in. And this time 10 shows him out. Diffuse going to come in.
A lack of awareness here. I think Sassy maybe just not anticipating such a ballsy play from 10, but you stick something like 10 on the Killjoy, you got to be mindful of things like that. The lockdown not actually clearing it all the way through the back of Boathouse. There's no confirmation either. There's no dart to come through, no knife to follow up on that. So a little lazy on the clearance here, and actually Depp went to the collat as well. Missed that one, the kill feed, but well handled by ZETA. I think maybe just the confused face, maybe thinking, where did you put the lockdown? It was invested so that it couldn't be wall banged, maybe couldn't be destroyed with any utility.
Sure.
Close to the wall there. A slight switch up, but obviously it was very visible on the minimap.
Get out of my way!
Oh, this is dangerous for Depp. Going to be under so much pressure very early on if they continue up this path, and yeah, the smoke's going to be invested too. So Depp, does he stick around for this? Aspas just going to be trailblazing his way through. Nothing slowed him down, and they had no idea he could get to this point. Loud so fast in this round. Aspas going to get the rifle to hand, but Lat's still on top. The flash comes in, but he goes down. And 10 in the blink of an eye. The rest of his team has just been shredded.
Massive pace change from Loud, completely blindside ZETA. No real opportunity to find value with the operator. Sassy, the one to close it out. Finds the kill with his Hunter's Fury as well, amidst that chaos.
Blistering pace there, Mike.
So that's just on the back of the knife as well. Able to close the distance almost instantaneously. ZETA actually going to call timeout here. Again, just noted a couple of times of how active they are around the map, maybe overcooking some of these rotations.
Sure.
Put it down to misreads, maybe just a little bit of pressure there. So conscious to have 3, potentially 4 players on the site that Loud actually lean towards. They're not allowed to actually use that to their advantage now and potentially start, you know, pumping or faking towards one site in particular.
Yeah, if they've been able to kind of extrapolate that information and be able to process that in a way that they can exploit, that's dangerous territory for ZETA going forward. We'll wait and see. This time out is ZETA's, so their time to try and consider the next couple of steps, considering the purchase is not good. They have a couple of options to potentially play with, but an overall grip on the game now we've got into the buy rounds is what they need, and they need it quite quickly, because that pace change should have scared the life out of them now, knowing that that's a possibility that Loud can lean into.
Loud a little offbeat now with the ultimates. Pancada getting closer and closer to that TP again that he used previously to try and clutch out that 1v4, but ZETA have some tools to work with. The Blade Storm, the Hunter's Fury, the Cosmic Divide. Don't expect them to be thrown in the mix here, unless actually they're able to convert this round in their favor. Well, Depp actually going to get a little bit active with the blade somehow. I'm looking towards the map. Yeah, he's over towards spawn actually. Yeah, actually surprising to see ZETA lean away from some of that aggression that worked for them on defense in bind. And this isn't the round really to gauge it by. I say that, they're walking mid here.
And has to give away a little bit of the indicator towards this. Takes a fair amount of the contact, but up and over the wall they go. Les just walks in and gets his head removed. Depp, comfy with that. Gonna try and slip away. That's a rifle to be recovered. A second
oh my
shot
God.
at it! And he goes back for more! Catching Sassy completely unawares. What a fumble here from Loud. They're gonna be kicking themselves.
This is where actually you look towards ZETA to have these factors to convert the round. Swing it back in their favor. Blade Storm still in action here. Pancada doing his best to fake an A-site hit, but look at the minimap here. Aspas is all the way towards B main. Actually, Sadak unsure of what to do here.
They need Aspas to get this space. They need it fast. Pancada can only sell this for so long. They could already be going, this feels a little offbeat now. He's actually following him with this. They're committing towards this. With all that clear to it. And that knife is incredibly telling. And now you're sweating. Now you're not happy with the choices you just made. Now you're alone, and Pancada has no really way to deal with this. Yes, support's on the way, but Aspas is a mile off. And he's got players 2 to the right, 2 to the left, and it does not matter. ZETA, depending on Depp in a round like this, and he just delivers. Aspas, irrelevant to outcome with 10 seconds left.
10 seconds
Loud
left.
getting lost in this.
44 HP on Aspas as well. He noted early on in the round, Crow really wants to spot him out. Pancada's done so well here to bait all of this presence on A. I'm not sure of the indicator that Loud are acting upon here. Maybe it's just nobody's swinging through Pancada's smoke. Nobody's desperate to come. But there's 4 people stacked up. The knife comes through at the time where it's like, well, there's 3 here. They're on top of us.
Yeah, it's already too late by that point. I was a little
But
surprised.
this was really strange. Less drifting into this smoke here. Again, no real information behind it. There's no knife. There's no recon bolt. There's no really concrete information to act upon. It's a little strange to see that happen.
Yeah, probably quite frustrating that that's the round that you get pressured on. It feels, you know, like ZETA did absolutely manage the advantage they were given in a couple of those moments, but a couple of mistakes showing for Loud there has cost them keeping this clean. And now a good purchase coming back in. Not ideal, still light armor with depth, but he's fine. Opting for this. And once again, we question the timing of the knife. When do they invest this? When do they get that information?
Shadows traveling.
Smoke goes in towards middle. Spike is en route, and that gets nothing.
Once again, another round. ZETA are so active on the defense, really looking to get towards the side, but actually,
There's a fake.
on the back of just the drone this time around. It baits the full rotation, and actually Pancada sticks the TP to backside. 10's completely unnoted it. He's found the kill.
10 so unaware at this point, and the site's now just free for the taking. They can flood on in. Nothing's going to stop it now. The spike's going to go down uncontested. That's a lovely bit of play coming out from Loud. Pro does get a fair amount of connection. Up to work off that. Depp already with a step in towards the site, and Loud a little behind the curve, but still, the battle begins. The trade comes out in a 4v3. 3 for ZETA, Sugar Zero and Laz trying to make something out of this. Pancada's had none of it though. And what a response from Loud there.
And this is exactly what I was talking about. If Loud can use these rotation timings to their advantage, just the tiniest bit of bait. And ZETA are so paranoid to scramble this rotation. There's 4 people on the back of an Aldro.
Yep.
Immediately onto A site. The TP makes it even better because 10 actually slips towards a more passive position, comes back towards spawn, then second guesses himself because there's no follow-up on the Owl drone. It's beautifully done by Pancada. Actually leading the charge here for Loud, 12 and 5 on the scoreboard.
Big read for Loud in that. Again, obviously so obvious to us, but to make those calls to find that information that ZETA have been over-rotating. 10 getting given room here now. Hasn't explored this far. Pancada's noted it. Pretty sure just seen him call this one out.
No
Seen
ping coming through though, so... Well, maybe a flash coming through here from Sadak, yeah.
Cover going out.
Yeah, Sadak's been called back over. Clears out towards Sub Rosa. 10 on the other side.
Does it bounce far enough though? 10 still gets a kill.
Incredible, he was able to get away with one.
But look at Depp. Depp's all the way in tiles. I think he is unnoted to this point.
I don't think they noticed Depp. No, so unaware. Catching Les completely blindsided by it.
The flash is perfect as well.
Keeps going, Depp. He's herding them around the map now. And they just have to go towards A. They're just trying to commit towards this now. Sassy's going to greet Laz with a smile. And Sugar Zero's the one to try and do some damage on this. Depp's going to hear a whole lot, though. And the pressure starts to mount. He can't deal with it. Pancada has been bailing Loud out of some of these situations as well. Crow left in the 1v2. Pancada is low. 27 seconds. There's always a little bit of danger, but that is removed. Loud once again. Brilliant work there, noting that mid-presence coming out. Even with 10 doing damage like that, they still get across the line.
This could actually be awkward here. We'll have to see where the funds lie. In round 11, the purchase comes through for ZETA, but great readjustment from Loud. Like I said, actually, Pancada, rightfully so, relaying that information, but it's the discipline around it. They wait for Sadak to come through. The flash goes over. The fragment actually goes down to clear the backside of Sub Rosa. Said Depp, unfortunately, I noted to that point, but he's only good for the one in mid.
Felt like he could have gone a second there at some point. It felt super precarious.
You see how desperate Aspas was to get the hell out of Dodge.
Yep, did not want to stick around for that. Don't blame you. 4-6 though. Loud back into the mix here. And looking quite simplistic on approach. It's a 4-1 split. You're going to have that late presence from Les, but beyond that, it's all towards A. Maybe see if they can test the nerve, and ZETA are up to the challenge. Depp caught Les towards middle, trying to creep up short. Laz unmoved towards Hell, just holding his own, but Sassy? How's he got this many players? And once again, Sadak and Aspas. The damage comes in. It's like they are playing mental gymnastics with ZETA now. You want to go for over-rotations? Well, now we're going to start hitting all in on these sites.
But it's almost Loud's demise here because of how quickly ZETA are in a position to just throw bodies back towards it. I'm not even sure. Depp gets his kill, and immediately he's like, right, cool, commit, let's go. Sassy somehow, though, comes to...
Oh, that's how.
Beautiful,
that's how.
Beautiful transfer.
Stunning.
And already Loud actually righting the ship in terms of the previous matchup here on the first half, which is what I think ZETA actually closed out 7-5 on the first half. The second half being, you know, the side of concern, but Loud already setting themselves up for success. As I said in the previous, look at the purchase coming through here. No shield for Depp, rifle, but actually Zero. How has he got that?
I don't know, but he doesn't get to keep his life this time. Spike can fall back into the hands of Loud. High risk, not sure about the reward just yet. 1-for-1 trade.
We're curious to see here what the decision making is with the lockdown. 10's actually slipped all the way back onto B site. Conscious actually, I think, of Pancada's TP being available now. Has to be on red alert.
Already falling foul to that, you know, once, maybe twice. You don't want to keep getting caught.
But it's tough because the lockdown's such a pivotal tool for the retake that if they overinvest in this triple stack on A, it almost becomes pointless. Laz actually preemptively pops the null command to buy some time. Hunter Fury posted from deep here.
And look at the combination in timing. Crow did actually get Pancada, which is quite surprising. They still haven't quite broken towards the site. Another 3v3, we look at the utility left. They're going to start running low here for Loud on the way in. There's that lockdown coming through.
30 seconds left.
And there's the response.
They're both actually going to cancel each other out, but Loud looking to still try and clear their way through. Aspas good for the one. Laz responds on less, but 30 HP has to back away.
Has to respect this now. Loud eyeing up getting the plant down. 10 seconds. Guard duty now called into effect for Sassy. Has to hold him safe here. Sprays him wildly, dips down towards Hell, and now it's just him in a 1v2. 10 and Laz. Sassy with a 4. Almost had the fight on 1.
Nearly had the shock dart kill on Laz.
Yep. Getting real close to working that out, but the scoreline actually going to get itself back in a really good spot here. It's going to be 5-7, Mike.
Actually, the mirror reflection of that previous matchup as well. But like I said, this sets Loud up for success in the second half.
It certainly does, and I've got to say, Pancada this half to me has been an absolute nightmare to handle, a real nuisance running around this. Any quick prediction who's going out the better here?
It's got to be Loud, surely.
All right, fair enough. We'll leave it at that, because I think the desk will be dying to break this one down as well, leading into the second half.
Thank you very much, guys. I know Seth is dying to talk about Pancada because we speak about the other Loud players so often, and this guy is just popping off.
He's going insane. And one of the people that we were talking about needing to step up, needing to find an immense amount of impact is Sugar Zero with his Astra, but we're not really seeing it. He's currently trending along the bottom of the standings right now for ZETA, whereas Pankata is well out ahead of everybody else in the lobby. He's been putting on an incredible performance so far. 320 ACS so far from Pankata as an attacking Omen. This is an incredible performance from him.
Yeah, I think in some of the early rounds we saw Sugar Zero able to survive around his own utility, but it's sort of that push and pull of Loud that was so impressive, switching across to either side of the map, and honestly, I feel like because of that, neither of the anchors on ZETA were ever particularly comfortable in their positions, so you saw them get caught quite a lot, or in Ten's case, a lot of the time, just having to rotate all the time.
Yeah, I mean, the movement, everything that Pankata is doing is just played pretty much to a T. His aim is crisp. It's very much on point right now. So even if he's just swinging around a corner and it's not being escorted forward by a thing like a Paranoia, oftentimes he's coming out on top and he's just doming people and taking them down.
Yeah, I think going into this second half is something also that really worries me. Like, I'm looking towards what ZETA are going to be able to do here. Of course, we haven't really seen a massive amount from them, but clearly want to lean in towards that A site. I want to kind of agree with what Hypog was saying, though. Loud have set themselves up fantastically. Their defensive half last time was 8-1. That's where they brought the game back from a troublesome position. Now they're already in the lead. They have to be in the driver's seat here.
Yeah, and it started with 6 consecutive rounds picked up from that second pistol round. They then dropped one, as you say, and that's the only round that ZETA were able to find for themselves on the attack. So we need to see massive improvements. We need to see everybody stepping up on the side of ZETA if they want to bring this back. 5-7, it doesn't feel insurmountable, but with the way that Loud's playing right now, and with Pankata going over onto the defense, it feels like this could be done.
Yeah, well, Loud, they're on the precipice of making playoffs here at Champions, Pansy and Hypog. Let's see if they can close this out.
Yeah, the worry this could be the swan song of ZETA is certainly on the mind because, as you noted, Tom echoing it there, this is a good performance thus far from Loud, teeing them up into the second half, and they have that map one advantage, of course.
Yeah, they do. And coming into the second here, my eyes immediately go towards Les and Sassy. They were instrumental to shutting ZETA down on the defense previously. And actually as well, Aspas having a quiet, not a quiet one. It opens up depth, chomping at the bit to find this first blood.
Oh, and the info off the back, it's just non-stop. Aspas ringing the bell, Crows down as well. 10 and Laz. Can you try and tell me a different outcome to this round? Because I'm not going to believe it until I see it.
It's just ridiculous. Aspas stands his ground and actually looking to seal the deal, but 10 responds. Actually, the spam coming through.
Oh, there's nowhere to run. Nowhere to hide. Got to stand and fight and Loud, kicking things off. But what a way to begin for Aspas there.
And I think this is confidence relying on their previous success, right? And just happy to greet Depp with open arms. I was going to say, actually, Aspas had a quiet defensive half last time, but typically he is one that as soon as that operator comes online, he becomes such a troublemaker for Loud.
True. Yeah, and seeing them start to heat up a bit, feeling out the game, the confidence start brimming. That's when you get a little worried when you're ZETA on the other side, because it's easy to go quiet. Because we always say, you know, being that player who's emotional, who puts their heart on the sleeve, which we know ZETA are like, when that loss starts to kick in, it gets bitter, it gets very hard to pry yourself out of that.
Well, it was 6 rounds unanswered last time as well. Now, if you look at the scoreline, like I said, set themselves up for success. That would be map and series here. Depp actually facing off with Aspas here, but Aspas the one to find the tag. 10. It's just double open B with a classic.
Can you believe it? Absolute scenes. I mean, he's given them a gateway.
He's got the upgrade as well on the Bulldog.
What?
Sugar Zero's found one.
What is happening with these classics, man? I don't get it. Aspas and Sadak are probably just reeling off the back of this round. Depp, 14 HP, barely alive. Laz still standing. Gotta get something here. Laz looking to the left, spots out one. And Depp wants it. But he has to be patient. They have to play this to perfection. Nothing else will suffice. The pop flash comes in. It's decent. Laz turns in. They're already at the doorstep. And Sadak is there. Back in. Threat neutralized. But that got completely wild out of nowhere.
I mean, it happened off screen, but did 10 literally just W key towards the outside?
It looked like it. It looked like it.
It's just ridiculous.
He was that close. You didn't see what I just did at home, but that close.
Deploying
There you go,
drone.
let's see. Yep!
Literally just
Shoulder
charges.
checks it. Oh, that's borderline disrespect, man. Look at this, I love it. Oh,
Free gun, by the way. Cost you nothing.
best things in life are free, Michael. That's what they say. Well,
Interesting
5-9.
decision here, actually. Well, one away from the Bladestorm. Aspas actually going to throw the operator in the mix here. The round 3 operator. You look at the rest of the purchase. 2 Sheriffs, a Bulldog, a Spectre to round things out. Now, I mean, this could be Gigabrain from Zeta reading the possibility because they're playing very cautiously here in the open. And Aspas posted up on a pretty deep angle and not noted with the knife, I think. Yeah, not suppressed.
Now, do they re-clear this knife back? Finds nothing again, similar scenes, but you're not going to just shoulder check this, are you?
Surely not.
Oh, Laz, no! Easy work for Aspas, just waiting patiently.
The problem being that's the only flash. It's just the only thing really to force Aspas off any of these angles that he wants to re-explore in the mid-round now.
Crow going through the motions now towards middle. Static with that flash ready. Underhand's lovely. Really good underhand. It actually going to get you 2. It does. Look at this combination in utility. Loud. Beautiful in approach. That was actually perfect.
And the concerns start to grow. Zeta unable to get anything done on that first buy round. They haven't got many more left to play with. Loud already on double digits. They keep this clean. They almost can't afford to buy themselves out here. Play a couple of rounds off trades alone. Get a little more aggressive.
One enemy remaining.
Stingers will come out for Zeta. 1 off the lockdown. 2 off the null command. Operator now posted in mid. Actually, Depp going to find the opening here. Pancada with a massive paranoia, but no kills. He's going to get closed down here.
I'm amazed that that just happened. It felt as though he had potentially 2 for free, but Aspas now going to pick up the mantle, but actually missing the shot will at least allow them a little bit more step towards the site. And tell me how we've got here, but the flank's coming in. That's what worries me. The less is on the way.
Spike planted.
Whether or not Zeta actually going to adjust here in anticipation. Aspas down to 38 HP though. So he's got to be careful. He's got to land the shot.
It's do or die for him. Less though, timing now, everything. Do they even expect this? They look so vulnerable to
Crow's
it.
position.
His patience is going to pay dividends. Going to get 2. Les going to spot the 3rd and finds it. Zeta crushed under the weight of Loud at the moment. This is now 11. Zeta looking a little lost here, Mike. I'm getting worried. The worries were on the half, but now they're starting to really peak.
And it's Les, the one that had such a phenomenal half previously, to steal this one with the 3K. Completely unconsidered. I thought actually with the smoke there was going to be some element of consideration of the flank coming through, but Crow out in no man's land here. And Les seals the deal with the 3rd. That's 4 unanswered now.
Yep.
Zeta have to make a stand here in round 17.
It's got to be now. It's now or it's never, at least in this event. Zeta, I mean, it's not comfortable. They are close on a lot of ults. Maybe they can activate some of this.
Here?
It looks all in. And who's on the other side? The close down. Deb's going to be charging on it.
He's blind as well.
Blind.
He still gets the kill.
Frag towards Sadak. And the site is open. 1 towards shot, but the flank, it's so fast, Mike. There are 2 players on this flank, but he's going to note them. That's huge. Aspas, and now Deb quickly gets to work. He is on the case. Would you expect to? Deb, this is so dangerous. 2 towards heaven, the swing from Aspas demolishes Deb. And now it's game on, lockdown from either side, gonna go with the fight, he's gonna split out 3, and Zeta recharging on forward. Pancada now put to task. Laz gets depleted, they're putting everything on the line now. It's 10 and Crow, how much can you do? Loud in response saying absolutely nothing. Diffuse gonna come in and Loud weather the storm and make it to 12.
It's heartbreaking to watch that round for Zeta. There's so many different things they have to worry about. The flank coming through, they have the numbers advantage. They send 2 back, and they still lose out on that. As soon as they lose this kill, you can see straight away they want to push tree. As 3 people, they force their way back into shore. But Loud, play it perfectly. Ripping ZETA apart. Loud on map and series point now. ZETA gonna call the timeout. It's do or die. 4 ultimates available. A Blade Storm, Cosmic Divide, the Null Command, the Hunter's Fury.
They've got a good hand to work with here, Mike. Perfect time for the timeout, right? You've got what you need. I don't know about the economy behind it, though. That could be lacking in some areas, but they should be able to get somewhat of a decent buy around this. They've got options. Tell me something. Give me that silver lining.
A silver lining. They love pressure, right? It doesn't get much worse than this. It doesn't get much worse than this. A huge deficit. Like I said, if Loud repeat the previous 6 unanswered on defense, it's wraps. It's wraps.
Worried about this map from the very start. Seeing this in the map pool, there's a reason map 1 felt like it had to have been for ZETA, but now in this predicament, in this position, this buy is everything. And all these ults to work with, they have to find value. They have to.
Does Depp donate a weapon here?
Surely. I feel like I don't feel there's another choice.
They have to spread the funds. See, actually just the last consideration here, it's if Depp's just they're preying on winning this so they can get an operator online.
I don't love that.
Yeah,
I don't love that. Get maybe one of the other players up to at least maybe a rifle with the full armor. I don't love
if Laz
this.
has got the Spectre, give it to Depp.
Sure,
Blade,
sure,
give him a rifle.
Yeah. And Aspas is potentially the one to do this. Mike can go up and playing ahead of it. Aspas with a punish. Finds Sugar Zero and gets away with his life. The shutdown going to try and come in. They're trying to close down on this. Aspas does the
Oh my
dodge!
god!
Oh, he finally goes down. Depp does get the better of him. Just about. And now we look towards the side. They're trying to come towards that B side. The spray and the pray from Sassy. And someone's answering this time, leaving just Crow alive in a 1v3. The reveal towards CT, and he just can't do it. ZETA's hard.